How do we decide how many corals we need, how many species we need, and then how we can best prepare them for life on Florida's coral reef? How do we look at the capacity that we have and the amazing things that we've learned over these last 8 years of the rescue project? How do we scale that up to an ecologically relevant number? In response to stony coral tissue loss disease, which began in Florida in 2014, the Coral Rescue Project was born. The main goals of the rescue project were to collect corals, to prevent them from becoming infected, to preserve their genetic diversity, and then to utilize those corals as broodstock to create the next generation of corals for restoration. We began rescuing the susceptible species to stony coral tissue loss disease in 2018, and then they were brought to land where many of these species had never been cared for on land before. So this offered a unique opportunity to learn a lot about these corals. How do they need to be cared for on land? What type of different water quality parameters? What about feeding? How do some of these corals even reproduce? These were a lot of questions that were being asked because these were corals that had never been cared for on land before. These are species that are becoming less frequent on Florida's coral reef, and so we need to protect those species because those are the main reef builders here in Florida. And we need our reefs, one, for the ecology and the biology. Lots of organisms utilize Florida's reefs for habitat or for food. And then we, as the citizens of Florida, we rely on our reefs for coastal protection and as a cornerstone of our economy. Without the species that build and maintain these reefs, we lose a critical economic engine for Florida and a natural barrier that helps protect our coastline. We knew here at FWC that we did not have necessarily the capacity to care for all of these corals. So the rescue project brought on an amazing partner in the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. And many of our rescue corals are spread throughout the country and are at different AZA facilities where they are receiving expert care. In addition, we also have partners such as universities, different research labs and research institutions that are helping care for these corals because everyone sees the value in keeping these corals alive and utilizing them for the future restoration and recovery of Florida's coral reef. One of the main goals of Coral Rescue was to create this living gene bank. So we've been working with our geneticists as well as population managers from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and we're beginning to build breeding plans for these species of coral. We want to make sure that we are including as much genetic diversity as possible because increasing genetic diversity can often increase resilience. It can also increase the health of the corals. Through those breeding plans, we're able to know which parents or what genes are going into the future populations, and then we can spatially distribute those genotypes or those different genetic individuals along Florida's coral reef so that we know we're getting good spatial coverage. We know that when future generations reproduce, that they'll be able to continue to create a healthy, genetically diverse population. I think something that we didn't expect right away from a lot of our corals in the rescue project was that they would actually start reproducing so quickly. Many of our facilities are seeing reproduction and seeing spawning happening while these corals are in captivity and under human care. We're producing over 2 million larvae right now of just 5 of our priority species here in Florida. And that's simply amazing. It's exciting to see that this reproduction is happening at a scale that will make an ecological impact. One of the exciting things about Coral Rescue is this next step. You know, we didn't want to just hold these corals for infinity on land. We wanted to make sure that they were going to create that next generation of corals and continue to do so over the next couple of decades. So a lot of this project has also involved doing different types of outplanting studies. What size should these offspring be to put them out on the reef so that they have a fighting chance and that they are able to survive out in the wild. The next big steps for coral rescue start with figuring out how many corals we can produce every year, and that will create our stock for restoration. And then how many corals we can expect to outplant or put back out on the reef every year. Many different practitioners have worked over the last 20 years to really develop science-based methods for putting these corals back on the reef in a way that will help to recover Florida's coral reef more quickly, and based on the number of species that we have, create a very diverse community, which is what Florida's coral reef was in the past. And that's the goal that we have now, to 1, create enough corals, 2, have enough healthy corals on our reef that it can begin to naturally recover, and 3, to develop that skilled workforce so that we have the ability to put out all of the corals that are being produced each year, and that will continue to reproduce and continue to benefit Florida's coral reef for generations to come.